What if I told you this match could be won or lost in just one frame? Less than 1/60th of a second. That's the world of Tekken, and the fight stick is the weapon of choice. Arcade fight sticks are a custom-built controller used by competitive players in games like Tekken. They give players a tactile, low-lag way to input commands. Behind these buttons, there is a circuit that handles every punch, kick, and movement. And how does this connect to electronics, you say? Well, each button is just a simple switch. When you press it, it closes a circuit that's connected to the microcontroller's digital input pin, and so to avoid floating signals when the button isn't pressed, we use a pull-up resistor to keep the voltage high until it's grounded by a press when the player wants an action. So a microcontroller is a self-contained chip that runs code and connects to a physical device like a controller, and it is the reason why fight sticks know when you press a button or move and how to translate that input into a signal. And what that microcontroller does is it constantly checks the state of each button's pin, whether that be high or low, and then it converts that into a USB signal for a console or a PC, and all of this happens in milliseconds, making each fight stick feel various degrees of responsive and precise. But these mechanical switches have a problem: contact bounce. For example, when you press a button, the metal contacts can bounce a few times before settling, which may send multiple quick pulses to the microcontroller, thinking that you're pressing a button multiple times. That's where hardware debouncing comes in. By adding a small capacitor in parallel with the switch and a resistor in series with that switch, we can create a low-pass filter, also known as an RC debounce circuit. It smooths out these bounces by charging and discharging slowly, which will give the microcontroller a clean signal instead of the noisy. Fun fact, one frame in Tekken is just 16.6 milliseconds, so if your frames are delayed even slightly, you might miss a punish or drop a combo. So top players tend to mod their sticks for faster microcontrollers and even flash custom firmware to cut that lag. In Tekken specifically, there are a lot of moves that are considered just frames, which means that frame by frame by frame you have to input specific things. So these things are important. So inside every fight stick is a tiny circuit built on big ideas: switches, resistors, capacitors, and microcontrollers, all making sure that the things we want to do happen in the game. What's really cool is you can actually build your own fight stick. You don't need to buy one. A lot of hobbyists and professional players use parts like the Sonwa buttons, a microcontroller board, some wiring, and the basic enclosure, and you have all of the parts you need. You'll wire each button to their input pins, connect them through pull-up resistors, and maybe even use a RC filter to handle debouncing if that was something you're concerned about. It's a legit circuit building project that ties everything together, from digital logic to real-time signal processing, and best of all, you get to use it to play Tekken. Thanks for watching. If you're into circuits, fighting games, fight sticks, etc., maybe it's time to build your own. Do not subscribe. I will not be making